Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankara-Acharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। We were discussing the topic samvidah Atmatva-upapattih. In this context, the last argument which we saw was based on the Panini Sutra. In fact, Sakshat Drashtari Sanyayam. So, who is a Sakshi? This Panini gives a very interesting definition. I told you. In fact, based on the same definition, the Advaitin and Ishtadvaitin are arguing because Sakshat Drashtari is there. Okay. So, the one who only witnesses, he is a witness. Okay. It means witness cannot do anything. Witness cannot be part of the activities which are being witnessed. Like I told you, I gave you an example of the whatever witnesses for contract, etc. Correct? Or even a sale registration and all that. Witness cannot be one of the parties. So witness should be only witnessing. Witness cannot have any activity. Now Advaitin is looking at it like that. Sakshi is only just lighting up everything and does not have any kartrutvam because of that. Like even the sun is lighting up everything, being its own swarupa. The light, the shine or brightness is the swarupa of sun. It is not that it is doing it specially or whatever with some kartrutvam. But the drashtari also is there. Based on that, the Vishishtadvaitin is saying that Sakshi is Sakshat Drashta, and it is not just he is the seer. It is not just seeing or sight or whatever. It is not something bhava. So natu drishihi. So therefore, the Sakshi should be a pramata or a knower. Means even that we did not accept. What we say is the drashtritvam. Even when the Sakshi is called as a drashta, drishtehe drashtaram is there. Bhashyakar also talks about it a lot in the Aitreya Bhashya, even in the Brihadaranyaka Bhashya. It is a very important thing. The Kenopanishad also says that. Brihadaranyaka also talks about it like that. So in all these cases, it is only the Chaitanya Sannidhi Matrena. Okay, the Sannidhi of the Chaitanya means the presence of Chaitanya is what is talked about there, like even the presence of sunlight. Okay, the Chaitanya Sannidhi or the presence of consciousness does not imply any activity on the part of consciousness. There may be activity happening in the presence of consciousness, like even in the presence of a magnet, the iron filings are moving, correct? This is in fact given as an analogy in our traditional text. So the magnet, the presence of the magnet makes things active, like that in the presence of the consciousness, when it is lighting up everything, then all these things are happening. Even the knower is also lighted up by the same consciousness. The known object also is lighted up by the same consciousness. So sarva avabhasakatva, vishaya avabhasakatvam alone is talked as the drashtritvam. There is no kartrutvam there. The trich, even if you put a trich there, the trich pratyaya doesn't have any real meaning. Okay. So this discussion we have already had. So this was pointed out. Now, another point is taken here. Nanu nirvikarasya atmanaha Jnatritva rupa vikara ayogat iti hi tvaya jnata na bhavati atma iti uchyate. Okay, the Purva Pakshi also is now accepting. In one way, he is saying that why are you saying this Atma is not a jnata or a knower? Because the Atma is revealed as Nirvikara, both by the Shruti and the Smriti, correct? Even in the Gita, Avyaktoyam Achintyoyam Avikaryoyam Uchyate. And in Gita is saying, Na Karta, Na Karayita, and all it is revealing. In fact, it is revealing with reference to killing. Atma is neither the killer nor the one who makes anybody kill anybody else also. So, Kamghatayati Hantikam, all these things are there. So, the Kartrutvam, Karayitritvam also is not there for Atma. That's how Gita is revealing. And Bhagavan himself says, Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam. All these things. So, based on all these things, okay, you are saying this not Jnatritva Rupa, Vikara cannot be there in the Atma because Atma is Avikari. But what they are saying is, so then, okay, let us not take Jnatritvam as Vikara. Okay, so they are making a concession. What he is saying, Natu Tata Vikriyatmakam Jnatritvam. So let Jnatritvam need not be in the form of a modification or a change. But what it is then, Kintu Jnana Gunashrayatvam. Anyway, that is their pet theory, correct? Visheshana and Vishishta. So let it be Jnana Guna Ashrayatvam. Let Jnana be a Guna. Okay. And therefore what? Jnanam cha asya nityasya swabhavika dharmatvena nityamiti Ramanujaha. So Ramanuja is saying what? Let this Jnatritvam be the Jnana Guna Ashrayatvam, and Jnana is a Nitya Guna because it is Swabhavika Dharma. Okay, it is part of the nature of Atma itself, and therefore it is Nityam. It doesn't go, but they also talk about Jnana not being there always. That is the funny thing. Okay, they say that I know, I do not know. That itself shows that this Chaitanyam comes and goes. Samvit is not, cannot be the Swarupa and all that. Anyway, here it is said that Jnanam, let it be Nitya Guna, and the Guna Ashrayatam itself is the Jnatritvam, means that also we cannot accept Ma Evam Vai Jna Dhatvarthasya Jnanasya Kriyatvena Gunatva Bhava. See, even in the Nayayika system, Kriya is not a Guna, and Jna is part of the Dhatu Pata, and it is listed as a Kriya only, correct? In the Dhatu Pata, even if you go by the Vyakarana, and whatever is a Kriya cannot be a Guna. Therefore, Jnana Kriya Shrayatva Lakshanam Jnatritvam Vikriyatmakam Eva iti. So even if you say that, that it is Guna Shraya and all that, we cannot say Jnana is a Guna, therefore it is a Kriya, and being the Kriya Ashraya only, this Jnatritvam will then become Vikriyatmakam only. You cannot avoid modification if you say that Atma is a knower. And if the Atma modifies, then it will also by implication become Anityam. Because whatever is changing, it is all ephemeral, it is Anitya. Therefore what? Atmanascha Swarupa Bhutat Jnanat Anya Dharma Bhutam Jnanam Nasti Eva iti Prageva Pratyapadi. Already we have said what? We have already revealed to you that there is nothing called Dharma Bhuta Jnana. Other than the Swarupa Bhuta Jnanam, there is no pramana for talking about two different jnanas. Okay. So this jnana is always revealed by the Upanishad as Atma Swarupa only. There is no Swarupa Bhuta Jnanam and there is a separate Dharma Bhuta Jnanam like that. Or that there is no pramana. We already said that. Okay. So in this context, Shruta Prakashikakara also is saying something. What is that? Yad atra uktam Shruta Prakashikakarena Kartritvam Vikriyatmakataya na Anatmakatva Prasanjakaha Kartaramisham Purusham Brahma Yonimiti Paramatmanopi Kartritva Shravanat Nahi Paramatma Anatma Sadhukari Asadur Sadhukari sadhur bhavati. Okay. But sadhukari, asadhur, there is a avagraha there. I don't know how it works out. Sadhukari, sadhur bhavati is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay. Anyway, so here what Sutta Prakashikakara is saying is this kartrutvam, if it is there, then you cannot say something is anatma. Just because kartrutvam implies modification, vikriyatmakataya, you cannot say that it is not there in atma. This is his argument. He is making a different kind of argument because he thinks that Advaitin is saying yatra yatra kartrutvam tatra tatra anatmatvam. Okay, wherever kartrutva is there, it is all anatma. Like that, we are making a vyapti or anumana. So he is saying, no, you cannot say that just because there is modification in kartrutvam, that wherever kartrutvam is there, it is all anatma. It is not anatmatva prasanjakaha, means what? It is not something which implies immediately that wherever kartrutvam is there, there is anatmatvam. It is not like that. Why? Because Upanishad itself is revealing the Paramatma as karta, kartaram isham purusham brahma yonim iti. This is the Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, I think it is the third Mundaka. Kartaram isham purusham brahma yonim. Like this, the one who knows, the Mundaka Upanishad is talking about a jnani there. Okay, in that section. And then that person will not have any papa, like that. That particular verse is there in the Upanishad. So, iti kartritva shravana, there the Paramatma is to be known as a karta. Nahi Paramatma, anatma. So, Paramatma cannot be anatma then, because Paramatma is revealed as karta by the Upanishad. But that's why the Gita Bhagavan is saying, Tasya kartaram apimam vidya akartaram apye. That is also their beauty, correct? Anyway, so they are taking this quotation and then saying what? Paramatma is karta, but Paramatma is not anatma. Paramatma is only atma. Further, what? Sadhukari, sadhur bhavati is the Brihadaranyaka. This is for the jiva. So he is now saying jiva also is not anatma, because jiva is revealed as sadhukari, the one who does good becomes or gets a good loka or good experiences. Asadhukari gets asadhuhu. All these things are there. Okay. Or here we have to take anatma and we have to put an akara here in front. Then this avagraha will make a sense. Anyway, there is this Brihadaranyaka quotation is there. I think it is in the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter, fourth Brahmanam only. Recently we had that class. So, this, and also there is a Brahma Sutra is there. Karta Shastrarthavatvat. Okay. So this Brahma Sutra also is saying the same thing, that Jiva is the Karta. And that is why the Shastra itself is meaningful, because there is a whole Karma Kanda, correct, where Vidhi Nishedha Para Shastra is there. The entire Vidhi Nishedha Para Shastra is meaningful only if the Jiva is Karta. If the Jiva is not Karta, then Shastra cannot mandate anything to the Jiva, correct? That is this Brahma Sutra. So, Brahma Sutra also is saying Jiva is Karta. Brihadaranyaka also is saying, then Paramatma also is revealed as Karta. So, whether it is Jivatma or Paramatma, all of them are Karta. And just because they are Karta and Kartritvam implies Vikriya, like that, even that also they may question, I think, but whatever he is saying is, just because Kartritvam is there, you cannot say something is Anatma. That is the point he is making here. So, Karta Shastrarthavatvad ityadina Atmanaha api Kartritvasya. So, Atma also is Karta. Siddhanti Tattvena. So, this is the Siddhanta he is saying. Therefore, what? Kartuhu Atmanaha api Anatmatva prasangat. So, if you maintain that wherever there is Kartritvam, it is Anatma, then this Atma, who is a Karta, will also become Anatma. Okay, that is their point. Okay, then what? kartrutva-rahitasya ghata-descha anatmanah atmatva-prasangacha iti. Also the other way around. That wherever there is no kartrutvam like ghata, etc., which are jada, they will all become atma then, because you are saying atma doesn't have any kartrutvam. Mean he's saying tan mandam, it's not very bright. Okay, this argument, because what we are saying is not whatever you are paraphrasing, you are actually mistaken our position. So he is saying yo yo anatma sasa karta iti na asmabihi uchyate. So we are not saying whatever is anatma is a karta. Okay, wherever there is anatmatvam, there is kartrutvam. We are not having any vyapti like that. Okay. So yo yo anatma sasa karte iti na asmabihi uchyate. But what are we really saying then? Kintu yo yaha karta sasa anatma iti uchyate. So, but wherever kartrutvam is there, it is all anatmatvam. See, this is the difference. We have to be very clear, correct? Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. That is the vyapti, correct? Even in this smoke, fire inference. But the other way around is not true always. Wherever there is fire, you cannot say there is smoke. There can be smokeless fire also. Understand that. But wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And wherever there is no fire, there is no smoke. That is the Vitireka Vyapti. Okay. Anvaya Vyapti is wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So sometimes people get confused in this. So, so what we are saying is wherever there is Kartrutvam, that is all Anatma only. But wherever there is Anatmatvam, there is Kartrutvam, you cannot say that. Okay. That's not what we are saying. Not all Anatma are Karta. Therefore, what? Akartra ghata-descha anatmatve prayojakam na kartrutvam. So, for ghata, etc., to be anatma, the reason for that, correct, is not that it is not a karta. The reason for that it is drishya. It is an object of consciousness, correct? It is an object of knowledge. Therefore, drishyatvadikam anyadeva. So, why the ghata, etc., are jada? Because they are known. They are objects of your knowledge. Therefore, they are jada. Not that because they are not karta, they are anatma. We are not saying that. Okay. So, first you understand what we are really saying. Further, what? Nacha yo yo karta, yo yah karta, saha anatma iti uktavapi doshaha darshitaha eva iti vachyam. Okay. Let us accept that it is the other way around. Wherever or whoever is a karta, all that is only anatma. That's what you are saying. Let me accept that. But even that is defective, he is saying. There also dosha is there. You cannot say that because already I have shown that Paramatma also is revealed as karta. Jivatma also is revealed as karta. Means even that you cannot say navachyam. Yo yaha karta so anatma iti uktavapi doshaha darshitaha eva. Like that you cannot say. Why? Nishkalam nishkriyam shantam. Correct? Ityadi shrutibihi atmanaha nishkriyatwasya uktatvat atma paramatmanoho abhedacha. So you cannot, again, there is no two different atmas or anything like that. And even the paramatma, jivatma and all aupadhika bheda. Correct? There is no real bheda. And the atma is revealed only as nishkalam, nishkriyam, shantam. And even in the Gita, I said in so many places that कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्मयः सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्न कर्मकृत्. Like this, everywhere Bhagavan is teaching that Atma is akarta, abhokta only. Correct? And explicitly he says that avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate nitya sarvagata sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. All these things, this Atma can never be karta. Even the entire this Vidhi Nisheda Para Shastra is just going along with your Ajnanam, correct? It is just going along with the Vyavahara and it is giving you sadhana sadhya. That doesn't mean that it is establishing that Jiva, this Atma is a Karta or anything. In the Karma Kanda, the subject matter is not the reality of the Atma. Okay, if you have already taken yourself as a Karta Bhokta, then Veda is giving you based on that sadhana sadhya. So this also has been discussed a lot, whether the Purva Bhaga really disproves the Upanishad or whether the Upanishad revelation makes the Purva Bhaga as apramana. This discussion is there even in the Brihadaranyaka. Even later on also, whether the Upanishad, whatever it is revealing Aikyam, does it go against Pratyaksha? So in all these cases, the Advaitin presents a very nuanced argument that each pramana is valid in its own paradigm, correct? In the modern world, we can understand that even better because we have a we have a macro world where the classical mechanics applies, and then there is a quantum world where this does not apply, correct? So that those things we understand now, they are at a different level, and just because at in a different paradigm we are talking about different things, it doesn't negate the classical mechanics. So that is what we have to understand. So this Upanishad is, when it is talking about the reality of the Atma, it is the Pramana. When the Purva Kanda is just talking to the Samsari and Ajnani, it is a Pramana with reference to Sadhana Sadhya. There nobody can deny that, correct? So anyway, here it is revealed, Atma is revealed only as Nishkalam, Nishkriyam, Shantam, etc. Therefore, and Atma, Jivatma, Paramatma, all of them are one and the same. Therefore, you cannot say that Atma is a Karta. Further, what Jagat Kartritvadikam tu Kutasthasyapi Mayaya Upapadyate Marubhumeriva Pankilatvam. Again, even the Karta, etc., when the Brahman is revealed as Jagat Karanam or Jagat Srashta, okay, all these things are only Mayaya. It is only a teaching device. The entire Srishti Prakriya is not an independent Prakarana. Understand, even in the Upanishad, because there is no phala specially given for the Srishti Vakyas. So the Srishti Prakriya itself is only for revealing the Ekatva. This is the another argument. Bhashyakara beautifully he argues that in his Bhashyas. Therefore, just because Brahman is revealed as a Karta, that is Adhyaropa, that is the Shastra Adhyaropa. We have to understand that. You cannot say that it is really Karta. It is then Apavada is done, correct? Therefore, it is all only Maya Upapadyate. It is all only Maya. Like even the Marubhumehe, in the desert earth, you see some slush, some water and all that. It is all like mirage. Further what? Kincha chalanam kriya chalati eva vastuni kriya darshana atma tu achalaha iti katam tatra kriya. Again what? Kriya itself means some chalana is there, correct? Some modification or some activity. When we say, it is always involving some change, some vibration, all this you can say. Okay. Chalati eva vastuni kriya darshana. So there is some movement involved in any action, but Atma is revealed as Achalaha. Gita, just now I quoted, correct? Achaloyam sanatanaha. So then how can Atma have kriya? Okay, once we say this, what now Lokantara Gamana they are bringing it. Very interesting. So he's saying Nacha Atmanaha Lokantara Gamana Shravanad Asti Chalanam iti Vachyam. So now he is saying no, Atma also has Chalanam movement. Why? Because Atma goes from one loka to another. Lokantara Gamana is talked about in the Shastra. Otherwise, all this karma will become useless. Means what? You cannot say that Navachyam. Why? Lokantara Gantra Linga Sharira Tadatmya Adhyasa Prayuktatvat Atmanaha Lokantara Gamanasya Shrutya Loka Vyavaharasya Eva Anuditatvat iti. See, this Lokantara Gamana and all is only for the Linga Sharira really. That even the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad talks about it in the end of the fourth chapter, third Brahmana, and in the beginning of the fourth Brahmana in the fourth chapter. All these things are described. Even the process of death, what happens, how the Linga Sharira then goes to take another body, etc. So, it is all only the Upahita Chaitanya, you can say, there also. Okay, Linga Sharira, Upahita Chaitanya only is having Lokantara Gamana as though this all only Aupadhika. And even this Lokantara Gamana, etc., Shastra is only talking about while describing the Samsari and Samsaritvam itself, one should understand it and therefore have certain Vairagya. Okay. For Vairagya Prapti alone, all this, even the process of death, taking of new body, etc., is being described, so that while you are alive only, you should spend time in understanding the Shastra, correct? So, it is all, again, even this is talked about in keeping with whatever the people understand in Vyavahara, correct? It is in keeping with the Ajnani's vision. Shastra is revealing all these things. Therefore, Tasmat, Yadi Atma Nityaha iti mate, Tarhi Vikriya Rahitaha eva. So, if Atma is supposed to be Nitya, Nitya Sarvagata Sthanuhu, Bhagavan says, you also have to accept that, correct? Dehi Nityam Avadhyoyam, Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. All these things, so many in the Gita itself you take. So, if Atma is Nitya, then Atma has to be Vikriya Rahitaha. Atma cannot have any Vikriya, any change. Because anything which has change, modification, will be temporary, Anitya. It will be non-eternal. So, Vikriya Vataha Anityatva Darshana. And further what? Yadi avikriyaha tarhi nishkriyaha eva. And also what? If something does not have any modification, then it cannot have any activity. It is free from all activities. So, yadi avikriyaha tarhi nishkriyaha eva kriyavataha vikriya darshanat. And also the one who is having some activity, there always some change, modification is seen. And further what? Yadi nishkriyaha tarhi jnata na bhavati. Okay, finally what the argument here is about, whether Atma is a jnata or not. Therefore, if there is no activity in the Atma, Atma cannot be jnata. Even whatever the sakshat drashtari and all that you talked about, it is just Vishaya Avabhasakatvam is talked about there. In its presence, everything is happening. And there is no change, there is no real kartritvam in Atma. It is not a jnata in the sense you are talking about. Jnanasya kriyavatvat iti. And also in general, the jna dhatu only talks about kriya. It is not a guna. Okay. After all this argument, what now again? This argument I think already we saw. Nanu yadi atma nan jnata tarhi jnata eva iti sutra virodaha iti chenma evam. Okay, this is again a spelling mistake here. Okay, it should be nyaha atayeva. That is the sutra actually. So Atma is nyaha atayeva. That is the sutra. This is the Brahma Sutra. If Atma is not a jnata, then this sutra will not make any sense. He is saying nyaha atayeva iti sutra virodaha iti chet ma evam. No, it's not in that manner. The nyaha atayeva. is again addressing the objection. In fact, this Vaisheshika, Nyaya Vaisheshika people, they say that Jnanam itself is a guna of Atma and all that. And to oppose that only, or to reject that view only, this sutra is there. Nyaha Atayeva. But based on this, now what the Vishishtadvaitin is saying, since Nyaha, Atma is referred to as Nyaha, it has to be a Nyata. It is a knower. Means it's not in that manner. Why? Nyaha ityasya Nitya Chaitanya Swarupaha ityartha. There, the Nyaha refers to the Nitya Chaitanya Swarupa and not the Nyatritva. Okay? Because the objection is to this Jnanam being a dharma or a guna. Because Jnana Gunakam Atma is what the Nyaya Vaisheshika are revealing. So here Nyaha means Nitya Chaitanya Swarupaha. Okay, once we say this word, no, they don't accept. Why? Nacha Janati iti Nyaha iti Nitya Chaitanya Van Eva Atma iti Vachyam. Okay, now they are saying no. Nyaha means Janati, the one who knows, and therefore Nitya Chaitanya Van Atma means again they are going back to this Visheshana and Vishishta. Okay, Chaitanya Van is Atma and not Chaitanyam itself is Atma. Means that you can't say Navachyam. Why? Janati ityasya Prakashayati ityarthaha. Prakashayati only is the meaning there. Even if you take it as Janati, it is like Prakashayati. Suryaha Prakashayati, you can say. But the trich has no real meaning. There is no activity or anything there. Okay? It's just shining. Therefore, Atma hi Surupa Chaitanyena Sarvam Samanyataha Prakashayati. Vritti Pratipalita Chaitanyena tu Visheshena Prakashayati. Again, here what? Atma being the Surupa, it is the one which lights up everything in general. And specifically through the Manovritti, it lights up a particular Vishaya. Correct? That's why two terms are used. Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit. Sarvajnaha means in general, Atma is the one which is lighting up everything. So Jnani is a Sarvajnaha, means it is meant in this manner only. Only Ishvara is a Sarvavit. Sarvavetritvam means you know everything in detail, in specific form. That is not possible with this Upadhi. The Manushya Upadhi cannot have Sarvavetritvam. But a Jnani is a Sarvajnaha because in general, you know that the entire gold universe is gold only. Correct? That way you know everything. Okay, Vacharamanam Vikaro Namadheyam Vrittika Ityeva Satyam. So by knowing the Satya Vastu and rejecting everything as Mithya, that is the Sarvajnatvam we are talking about in general. But there is also Shastra also talks about a Sarva Vetritvam or Sarva Vit. So he is now saying Atayeva Sa Sarvajnaha Sarva Vit iti Shruyate. The Shruti is talking about two things. Okay, the Sarva Vetritvam means it is in detail, you know each and every object. So otherwise what? Anyatha Sarvajna Sarvavit Padayoho Aikyarthyena Punaruktihi Syat. Otherwise there is no point in using two words, correct? With the same meaning, it doesn't make any sense. Therefore what? In this manner, Sarva Prakashakatvat Atma Nyaha iti uchyate. So when we say Atma is Sarvajnaha or Nyaha, it is just in the sense of that it is lighting up. In its presence only everything is taking place. In that manner, only it is revealed. That's what is revealed there. So Nyaha Atayeva Sutra also is talking about that, and not as Atma as a Nyata. Okay. Further what? Nanu kim ayam Atma Sarvam Swasmai Prakashayati Yadva Parasmai. Okay. This is the argument we have seen before. Okay. Does it reveal for itself or for somebody else? You are saying it is Prakashayati. This. So Adye Siddham Atmanaha Nyatritvam. So it is revealing things to itself means then it becomes the knower. Jnatritvam will be there. Atma will have no worship. Atmanaha Jnatritvam will be there. Dvitiye. No, if you say no, it is only revealing things for others. Means Siddham Deepa Dehe Api Atmatvam. It will become like Deepa, etc. They are revealing things for others. Therefore, Deepa will become Atma. Otherwise, what? Yadva Atmanaha Api Anatmatvam Siddham. Otherwise, Atma itself will become Anatma. Because you are saying Atma is revealing things for others. Parasmai Prakashayati. This is the Kotik Dvaya they are presenting, means what? It is not like that. It's chain Ma Evam. Why? Jnanasya Vishaya Prakashakatvam Sampratipannam. Okay, the Vishaya Prakashakatvam of Jnana is accepted by everybody, agreed. It is Sampratimarnam. Okay. But whatever Jnanam, etc., you are talking about, what is this Jnanam? You are also talking about Jnanam. You are saying there is a Swarupa Jnana, Dharma Bhuta Jnana, and all that. What about that Jnanam? You tell me. Kim tat Jnanam Svavishayam Swasmai Prakashayati Uta Anyasmai. Okay. So I can also ask you, correct? Adye, what if you say it is only lighting it for itself? Okay. Jnanasyapi Jnatritvam Praptam, that Jnana will get Jnatritva. Okay. But you are talking about, you are saying Jnana is different, Jnata is different. Okay. Otherwise, what? Dvitiye Deepadivat Jnanasya Jadyam Praptam. If you say it is Parasmai Prakashayati, you are only saying Deepa is Parasmai Prakashayati. Therefore, that Jnanam will become Jada then. So now you answer, this Koti Dvaya is applicable to you also. And both of them are not Ishtapattihi for you. Okay. Nacha Ishtapattihi. Both are undesirable. You are also caught in your own net now. Okay. So, Jnana Gudakaha, Jnana Swarupascha Atma, Jada Eva Bhave. Sorry, Jnanatva Rupascha Atma. Correct. Okay. Jnana Gunakaha, Jnanatva Rupascha Atma, Jada Eva Bhave. So, if you say Atma is Jnana Gunakaha, that means Atma is separate, Jnana Guna is separate. And Jnanatva Rupa means what? Atma is having Jnanatvam as a Guna or Visheshana. Means Atma itself will become without, it will be without Jnana then. And it will become Jada, Jada Eva Bhave. And then the question will now come, how can this Jada Atma be the knower? How can it will have Jnatritvam? Tadhi Chetana Dharma. Jnatritvam is only the Chetana Dharma. It is the quality of an sentient being. And therefore Atma being Jada cannot have Jnatritvam. But if you, to avoid this problem, okay, because this is the going along with the second option. If you go to the first option, saying that, okay, let Jnana also have Jnatritvam. Okay. So, yadi tu Jnanasyapi Jnatritvam, okay, ishtam tarhi kim Atma Swarupa Bhuta Jnanasya taduchyate yadva Dharma Bhuta Jnanasya. If you say Jnana also let it have Jnatritvam, you are talking about two Jnanas. Correct? You are talking about the Dharmi Bhuta Jnana or Swarupa Jnana and Dharma Bhuta Jnana. Now, which one is Jnata, or both of them are Jnata? Okay, if you take all these things also, it is funny, correct? So now he is asking if Jnana also has Jnatritvam, which one? So, Kim Atma Swarupa Bhuta Jnanasya taduchyate yadva Dharma Bhuta Jnanasya. Now, let us take the first one. If you say no, Swarupa Bhuta Jnana only is Jnata. Okay, that is their Siddhanta, let us say. So, Adye Atmanaha Swarupa Bhutam Jnanameva Sarvam Janati iti Vyarthaha Dharma Bhuta Jnana Abhyupakamaha. So, then it is useless to talk about a Dharma Bhuta Jnana, correct? The Swarupa Bhuta Jnanam only is knowing everything. It is the Jnata. And it is Chetana. Then why are you even talking about Dharma Bhuta Jnana? We need not acknowledge a Dharma Bhuta Jnanam or accept a Dharma Bhuta Jnana or Jnana which is in the form of a Dharma or a quality, correct? In fact, there is no pramana for that. Then what? Abhyugatepi tasmin deepavad dharmabhuta jnanam tad ajnatritvena jadameva iti kritva praptam atmanah jada gunakatvam na jnana gunakatvam. Okay, even if you assume or accept as dharmabhuta jnana, that dharmabhuta jnana will be like deepa, and deepa doesn't know itself. Dharmabhuta jnana also cannot know itself, and therefore it is jada. So the dharmabhuta jnana, you have to accept it as jada. In fact, that's what we say. Vritti jnanam is really aupacharikam only. It is called as vritti jnanam. Vritti is really jada. So even though you call it dharmabhuta jnanam, it is really jada. And then what will be the implication of that? So jadam eva iti kritva praptam atmana jada gunakatvam eva. So the atma will have, even if it has the dharmabhuta jnana as a guna, that dharmabhuta jnana being jada, really it will be jada gunakatvam and not jnana gunakatvam. So there cannot be any jnana gunakatvam for atma being the jnata. So therefore what? Evam swarupataha atma jnanamapi swabhavataha atma jada ityeva siddham. In this manner, if we assume things, even though atma swarupa is jnana, okay, it but by swabhava means what? Here the swabhava means they are taking it as dharma. It will have jada as dharma. That is also not ishta, correct? Tadhi anishtam yet jnatuhu atmanaha jadatvam. So the atma which is a jnata, it cannot have jada as a guna or a dharma. That is not ishta. So first option is a problem. What about second one? Dvitiye atma swarupa bhuta jnanasya ajnatritva ajnatritvam agatam tadhi tava anishtam. So if you accept that the swarupa bhuta jnana is not a jnata, means that is not at all desirable for you, because they have been saying that atma is a jnata, correct, which has swarupa bhuta jnanam. So but now it will become, it is ajnata, so there is no jnatritvam in the swarupa bhuta jnanam, means that is also not desirable. Jnana swarupaha jnata cha atma iti tava abhibhagamat, because you have accepted already that atma is jnana swarupa and it is jnata, it is a knower. Okay, to avoid all these things, what? Let both of them be knowers or have jnatritvam. Nacha dvayamapi jnata eva iti vachyam. So let both of them be jnata. Why can't we say that? Means what? You cannot say that. Why? Upayoho jnatror dharmitvena swatantrayor anyatarasya dharmatva ayoga. So they both, if they are jnata, jnata is swatantraha, independent, swatantrah karta, correct? So that which is independent cannot be a dharma of somebody else. So they should be swatantraha if they are both kartas. Okay, jnatritvam is there for both of them. They have to be independent of each other. There cannot be any concept of then dharmi and dharmas. Dharmatva yoga. Therefore, what? Atmanaha dharma jnanena viditasya arthasya swarupa jnanena anusandhana bhava prasangad. Another problem is what? If the dharma bhuta jnana is knowing something, swarupa bhuta jnana cannot remember it, or it cannot have samskara of that, correct? Because that is separate, that is swatantraha, this is swatantraha. So whatever is known by that cannot be remembered by this, or whatever is known by this cannot have anusandhana there, let us say. All these problems will come. Therefore, what? Evam swarupa jnana viditarthasya dharma jnanena anusandhana abhava prasanga. In this manner, the other way around also, he is saying whatever is known by one cannot be remembered or recollected by the other. Therefore, what? Pratideham jnatridvaya sadbhava prasangad ekasmin dehe eka eva atma iti vaktum ashakyatvat. Further what? In each Deha, there will now be two knowers. One is the Dharma Bhuta Jnanam, another will Dharmi Bhuta Jnanam. Two knowers will be there in one Deha. But Atma is only one. Nobody accepts that there are two Atmas in one Deha. So you cannot even say Eka Eva Atma. In one body, there is only one Atma. That also you cannot say. Vaktum Ashakyatva. Therefore, Jnatuhu Atmatvena Jnatridvayasya Atmadvayatvacha. Also what? This Atma is Jnata, you are saying. And if there are two Jnatas in one Deha, then Atmadvaya will be there in the same Deha. So these kinds of absurdities it will imply. Therefore, what do we say finally? Tasmat Vishaya Prakashakam Atmanaha Swarupa Bhutam Jnanameva Jnanam. So really Jnanam means only the Swarupa Jnana is Jnanam, which is lighting up all the Vishayas, which is the Vishaya Prakashaka. Vishaya Prakashakamapi Vritti Jnanam tu Jadameva. But the Vritti, which is specifically revealing a particular object, that is only a Manovritti. And Manas itself is only Bhautika. And therefore it is Jada only. So even the word Vrittik Jnanam is only Aupacharika. It is called as Vrittik Jnanam because the Upahita Chaitanya or the Chaitanya is manifest there. Okay, therefore, this is what we are saying. Vrittirhi Deepavad Anyasmai Vishayam Prakashayati, and the Vritti is revealing things to the knower, let us say. Therefore, the Vritti can be Jada, like Deepa. There is no problem. And Dharma Jnanam, whatever you are talking about, there is no pramana for that. Forget it. Dharma Jnanam tu Nishpramanakam eva iti. So there is nothing called Dharma Jnanam and a separate Dharmic Jnanam. Dharmi or Swarupa Bhuta Jnanam alone is there. That alone we accept. Vritti is only Jada. And Vritti Jnana usage, etc. is only Aupacharika or figurative. Okay, we'll continue this in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद